Let's talk about a frustration I hear all the time. I'm a nice guy. I treat women with respect. I'm attentive. I'm supportive. I do everything right. So why do they always friend zone me while dating guys who don't treat them nearly as well? If you've ever thought something like this, you're not alone. This is probably one of the most common complaints I hear from men struggling with dating. And here's what's interesting. You're not entirely wrong. There is something happening here, but it's not what you think. The truth is both simpler and more complex than women don't like nice guys. Today, I'm going to break down the real reason why being nice isn't working for you, and more importantly, what to do instead. Not by becoming a jerk. That's not the answer. But by understanding what's actually happening beneath the surface. This isn't about games or manipulation. It's about authentic human psychology and what genuinely creates attraction. Before we dive in, stay ahead. Subscribe for the dark art of understanding of women. The misunderstanding of nice. First, we need to clarify what we mean by nice, because there's nice and then there's nice. True niceness is genuine kindness, empathy, and consideration that comes from a place of inner strength and personal values. It's treating people well because that's who you are, not because you expect something in return. But what many self-described nice guys practice is something different. Conditional niceness, being agreeable, overly accommodating, and conflict avoidant. Not because these are your authentic expressions, but because you believe this behavior will earn you affection, approval, or attraction. And here's the hard truth. Women can tell the difference. Maybe not consciously, but on an intuitive level they can sense when your niceness feels like a transaction rather than a genuine expression. Think about your own behavior. Are you nice to everyone in your life with the same consistency and authenticity? Or does your niceness dial up specifically around women you're attracted to? Do you find yourself agreeing with her opinions even when you don't really share them? Do you go out of your way to do favors that occasionally feel excessive? Do you swallow your own needs and preferences to accommodate hers, even in situations where healthy boundaries would be appropriate? If so, what you're practicing isn't authentic niceness. It's people-pleasing behavior, driven by insecurity and an unstated expectation of reciprocity. And contrary to what you might believe, this behavior doesn't signal that you're a great potential partner. It signals something else entirely. What nice guy behavior actually communicates. When you engage in excessive people-pleasing behavior, you're inadvertently sending several messages that work against attraction. First, it suggests low self-worth. You're communicating that you don't believe you have inherent value, so you need to earn affection through constant agreeableness and service. This creates an uncomfortable dynamic where the woman feels like she has complete power in the interaction, which paradoxically makes her feel unsafe. Second, it creates a sense of inauthenticity. When someone can't tell where the real you ends and the performance begins, it creates an uncanny valley effect. Something feels off, even if they can't articulate what. Third, it demonstrates a fundamental misunderstanding of attraction. You're operating on a transactional model. If I'm nice enough to her, she'll reward me with romantic interest, which isn't how genuine attraction works. Fourth, and perhaps most importantly, this behavior often comes with hidden resentment. When your unstated expectations aren't met, that resentment leaks out in passive-aggressive comments, thinly veiled bitterness, or the infamous complaint that women only like jerks. This reveals that your niceness wasn't genuine to begin with. This is what women mean when they say they can sense desperation or neediness. It's not that they have some magical power to detect your internal state. It's that these behaviors telegraph your emotional dependence in ways that feel uncomfortable. Now let me be clear. This isn't about shaming you. Many of us develop these patterns in childhood as survival strategies. If you learned that your worth was tied to making others happy, of course you'd carry that into your adult relationships. But understanding why these patterns developed doesn't mean you have to keep repeating them. What women actually find attractive. So, if performing niceness isn't the answer, what is? What are women actually responding to when they are drawn to someone? The simple answer is authenticity, paired with healthy boundaries. But let's break that down more specifically. Women are attracted to men who have their own lives, values, and boundaries. Men who treat them well, not because they're trying to earn points, but because that's who they genuinely are. Men who can sometimes say no or respectfully disagree, who have their own perspectives and aren't afraid to express them. Think about the men you know who seem to naturally attract women. I guarantee they're not all conventionally handsome, rich, or even particularly smooth EUR, but they likely share certain traits. They have a strong sense of self. They know who they are and aren't constantly seeking external validation. They have passion and purpose beyond romantic relationships. Their lives don't revolve around finding a partner, EUR. They have meaningful pursuits that engage them. They have healthy boundaries. They're kind and considerate, but they don't twist themselves into pretzels trying to please others at the expense of their own well-being. They're emotionally honest. They express their authentic feelings AEUR, both positive and challenging ones AEUR, in appropriate ways. These qualities create a sense of security that paradoxically comes from not needing the relationship too badly. When you have your own life, values, and boundaries, you communicate that you're choosing a woman because you genuinely want her in your life. Not because you need her to validate your worth or fill an emotional void. That's tremendously freeing for both of you. It takes the pressure off the relationship and allows attraction to develop naturally, without the undercurrent of neediness that so often suffocates it. The path forward, from nice guy to authentic man. So, how do you break free from the nice guy trap and develop the authentic confidence that actually creates attraction? Let me give you some practical steps. Develop self-awareness. Start noticing when you're being nice, because it's genuinely who you are, versus when you're doing it with an unspoken expectation. Notice when you're agreeing with someone, even though you don't actually share their opinion. Notice when you're overextending yourself in ways that leave you feeling resentful. Practice expressing your authentic preferences AEUR, even in small ways. If someone asks where you want to eat, tell them your actual preference rather than defaulting to "I don't care, whatever you want." If you have a different perspective in a conversation, respectfully share it. These small moments of authenticity build the muscle for bigger ones. Develop your own life beyond dating. Invest in your passions, friendships, and personal growth not as a strategy to meet women, but because having a rich, meaningful life makes you a more interesting and fulfilled person, which naturally makes you more attractive. Work on developing healthy boundaries. This doesn't mean becoming selfish or inconsiderate. It means understanding that your needs matter to you, and that sometimes the kindest thing you can do for both yourself and others is to say no. Challenge the beliefs underlying people-pleasing behavior. If you believe that your worth is tied to making others happy, or that you need to earn love through constant agreeableness, these beliefs will continue driving your behavior until you consciously examine and replace them. Redefine what genuine niceness means to you. True kindness comes from a place of strength, AOR, not insecurity. It's treating others well because that aligns with your values, not because you're trying to manipulate an outcome. So if you've been stuck in the nice guy trap, wondering why your kindness isn't translating to romantic interest, I invite you to consider that the issue isn't your niceness itself, EUR. It's where that niceness is coming from and what else it might be communicating. True confidence isn't about becoming someone you're not. It's about becoming more fully yourself, EUR, expressing your authentic thoughts, feelings, and boundaries while still treating others with genuine respect and consideration. That's the kind of man who doesn't need to complain about being too nice, because his authentic kindness is paired with self-respect, and that combination isn't just attractive, it's the foundation of healthy relationships. If this resonated with you, hit subscribe for more insights that go beyond surface-level dating advice, and let me know in the comments what part of this hit home for you. I read every comment and use them to guide future videos. Until next time, choose authenticity over performance. It's not just more attractive, it's more fulfilling.